They saying he's toast. You're toast. Oh, okay. Because we know he ain't got this money. So this whole time he been talking about he a billionaire. He ain't got the money. So all them people, oh man, when Trump was off, we getting money, man. He a real businessman. This nigga just as broke as me, bro. He just as broke as me, and they about to break him off with a 250 piece that he definitely ain't got. We already done seen that he was scamming in that damn.
Can you give us sort of an overview of what hangs in the balance here? Because we're hearing all these details, you're seeing all these family members come up, you're seeing the contention between Donald Trump and the judge, the lawyer, his lawyer, and the judge. But ultimately, this is over fines, right? And money, correct?
Lots of money, at least $250 million the AG is trying to receive. And basically at this point, Donald Trump is toast. I mean, he is basically going to be found to be a liar by the judge here. What people haven't focused on is not just his testimony last week, right, but it's also the testimony he gave in his deposition where he took the Fifth Amendment over 400 times. Now, what does it mean to take the Fifth Amendment? It means that you are refusing to answer a question because a truthful answer would tend to be incriminating. Then what did Donald Trump do last week? He went into court and said, oh, I didn't do anything fraudulent. I wasn't involved in a fraud, which is just the opposite of what, in effect, he was saying when he took the Fifth Amendment in his deposition. So you've got contradictory testimony. You can use his assertion of the Fifth Amendment against him to basically find that he's lying, that he's manipulating the system when he goes in, refuses to answer questions, answers the questions in a half-baked manner. I just don't see how this judge, at the end of the day, is not going to find that with respect to Donald Trump, liar, liar, pants on fire.
I knew you were going to say that, and that is where we're going to end it here. We're going back to elementary school, but it is elemental. There are things that you're either telling the truth or you're not on the stand, right, or in a deposition. And we should mention, you know, everybody has the right to the fifth to plead the.
So, what he's saying about the fine that he's finding that Trump is lying. He did a deposition where he did take the Fifth. And the Fifth is only so you won't incriminate yourself. You're not going to take the Fifth if you're innocent. You see what I'm saying? The same thing he said with Hillary. But since this is a civil case, there's no jury. The judge is going to already decide on what's going on. So right now, the AG, what they're trying to do is get Trump with a $250 million fine that he's going to have to pay back to the state for the inflation of everything that he has. Now, the judge has already found that there was fraud in this case. The only thing that they're doing is just collecting all of this evidence, which is bad for Trump and the whole organization. Because once they lose this, they're going to probably lose their license to do any business inside of New York. But everything that they're saying here is going to be it's going to start being used in all of the other cases that they have. You see what I'm saying? So it's all going to line up. So when people are saying, oh, the judge is too lenient, it's just like when we watch these TV shows and we watch the feds. They're just letting this shit pile up, because you want everything to sit. So once he gets hit with this 250 million, which he's saying that the financial statements that they were sending to the banks, because they were trying to inflate the money that they were making or how much they were worth so they can get lower interest rates. Now, that's why they got a contract with the government, but the government said, GSA, they said, nah, that's a little suspicious. So they were like, nah, we're not going to do it. And they were just taking these to different banks. So they'll go with one bank with one to see what the interest rate would be. That's where they got Ivanka in the email saying, hey, these are the statements that we're going to take. They got Don Jr., same thing. So right now, the fraud has been committed. The judge is just hearing everything that Trump has to say. They're going to catch him up, use that in other trials, and then he's just going to decide. Now, I think this trial will be over mid-December, because I think the other son has to testify tomorrow, or it may be next week, because Friday they're closed for the holiday. But at this point, it's over with. As far as financially, he doesn't have any of the money. They said Mar-a-Lago was worth 18 million. Then he gets on TV and says it's worth 50 times, 100 times that. Let's just see what that math is, Donald. And you know me, I don't pick no sides, Republican, Democrat. I really don't care which you are. Do what benefits you. Like me, whenever I vote, if I vote, or when I vote for whatever I'm gonna benefit from. I really don't give a damn about what others need. I'm looking out for me. It's just I'm a single black man. Who's gonna give me the biggest raise next year? I don't care. You know what I mean? So if it's worth 18 million, he said it's 50 to 100 times more times 50. That means that he's saying it's worth 900 million. This is kind of what Cohen, who got arrested for committing fraud, was saying that Trump wanted them to do. They would go in there one day and say, "Hey, you're worth a billion." He say, "I'm not worth a billion. I'm more like 4 or 5." They would have to go back and get the financial statements and alter them to make it seem like he was worth $4 to $5 billion. So this whole time he's just been bullshitting. He's been a failed businessman since way back when. His father gave him the loan to start off. He blew all of that. And now in New York City, where he wanted to be the man of the hour, it's about to all come crumbling down. You know how many buildings then took Trump's name off of it because of all the fraud? Let me see. Oh, both of the sons. I knew I knew Don Jr. Testified, but I didn't know when the other brother. I knew it was at the end of one of the weeks, but let me see. Man. All right, well, we ain't gonna fuck with Forbes, man, 'cause I'm not signing up for that. All right, here we go. This is 2019, and since then they've been. Bro, I tell you, for these people to be news media outlets, man, I'm not turning off my ad blocker, bro. Let me see. Pause on this site. Turned off ad blocker. So this is what when I'm not watching TV shows, I'm just reading up on this fool and listening to everything he got going on. I used to always wonder as a kid, why did my parents watch the news? But this is actually interesting. I know a lot of people really don't give a damn. They just hear what saying what happens. But I mean, this is history right here. Like he's probably about to be the biggest criminal we've ever had in America. Uh, Trump organization declined to comment. Reached the Business Insider. I just need an article that, okay, here we go. 6 residential buildings on Manhattan's Upper West Side reportedly decided to remove the big golden letters that spell out Trump Place. So there goes 6. New York Times reported that hundreds of residents, 140, 160, 180, they signed a petition back to back. Even on 200 Riverside, they signed a petition to get it out of there. Most recently, the Washington Post